Wrestling fans, promoters, wrestlers, and anyone who enjoys pro wrestling now have something new to be excited about. The Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA, is back. WFIA is an association that exists to promote, grow, and support professional wrestling throughout the world. Membership is free. Your membership includes a free digital bi-monthly publication of the Wrestling Fan News newsletter, association updates, voting privileges, and much more. Please go to thewfia.org, that's THEWFIA.org, and become a member today.
Welcome, everybody, to the PWZ podcast, now part of ProWrestlingWire.com. I'm Rick Del Santo. Harry Davila is with me this week. As always, we have a very special guest, Jermaine Marbury. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Whoa.
Good.
Whoa. How do you start off by going, we have a very special guest, Jermaine Marbury? Like, what is that? We have
He's a very special guest.
Hottest,
okay, hold on. Let me try this.
hottest young sensation coming out of Connecticut. Jermaine Marbury, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're acting like I'm like a real radio host. It's just a podcast. No, but Jermaine Marbury, yes, you do deserve that. You are one of the brightest young stars
Absolutely.
in Connecticut right now. Your rise in this last year has been amazing. Amazing.
You know what's crazy? Harry? I've been on this podcast for like 6 months, and every single time, bro, I've been getting big leagues. So it's about time we're here,
Bro,
Hold up. This is the first.
No. Hold on. The reason that is, Jermaine, is because you went to the wrong man.
No. The only reason I went to him is because Rick big leagued me, bro. I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. You should have came to me. I would have been like, Jermaine, I got you next week.
When did I ever hear anything about you coming on this podcast?
How dare you, Rick?
Until I reached.
We talked a little bit about it at the February show, CPW. I think my first CPW show, we talked about it.
Hold on, now you're making me look like an ass, dude.
He's got dates. I love it. It's all good. He needed you to go become a bigger star before he could put you on his pod.
Facts.
It's okay though, because if you would have asked me, you would have been on already. I'm just saying.
Let me cut his microphone. Hang on a second.
You're not doing that shit.
Let me say that it's the fact that you made your Wrestling Open debut recently. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, that's okay.
You know what? I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here.
He's acting like that's a big deal to me. But so let's talk about your wrestling career, how you got interested in this, because honestly, man, I remember you when you were on Paradise Alley, just sitting there collecting jackets and and stuff like that, and you were always so polite and quiet and but always so polite. You always shook my hand and said, "Hello, Rick, how are you?" all the time. But let's talk a little bit about that, about you getting into the industry and what made you decide all that.
So I realized I was going to become a professional wrestler. It must have been my sophomore year of high school. I had to do this class project about what I was going to do after I graduated, and I had to talk about a step by step how I was going to get to where I wanted to be. And I had no idea what I wanted to do with my career, with my life, I should say. And so after some thinking, I was like, F it, I love pro wrestling. I was going to be a pro wrestler. And so I made this huge PowerPoint presentation about it. And then I kind of just been tunnel vision since, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That I've never heard an answer
straightforward
like that before. No, it's pretty interesting that's what you did. I mean, it's usually just, I grew up watching it and I found a school via Google and boom, that was it. Or some guy, whatever. I just find that you went all out, man. Jeez.
Okay, so how did you land in PAPW?
So I didn't actually start at PAPW. At the
okay.
Time, this is a crazy story.
What a twist!
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
So when I was 18, I had this Xbox friend, right? Me and him were best of buds at the time. And he lived out in Texas. And so 10, 15 minutes down the road from his house, he had this wrestling school. called Metroplex Wrestling. And so once I graduated,
Yep.
and then once I
Very
turned
familiar with it.
18,
Yeah.
once I turned 18, I hopped on a Greyhound bus. I went straight to Texas. I trained down there for about 6 to 8 months, something like that. And then eventually got a little homesick, came back up here, and then found PAPW. So,
Whoa.
yeah.
So
Still
okay,
confused why you came back to Connecticut. Connecticut is terrible, but
watch your mouth. Connecticut's a hotbed for wrestling right now.
That I do have to say is absolutely 100% correct. And
so him coming back to Connecticut may have been probably the best thing he could have done, because he said he went to Texas. Who did you stay out there with for 6 to 8 months?
Oh, my boy.
Okay.
My Xbox friend. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. And then you were like, I'm sick, I'm going back home. And then you found PAPW, and now look at you now. Pretty much.
Basically. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so you come back home, you find PAPW. Is it different from how you were in Texas, or is it somewhat the same? Explain to us some differences that you have seen in both trainings.
It's a lot more intense because training at like PAPW, like Paul Roma, even though he's a little bit like on the older side, like he still gets in there and like he works. Like he works with everyone.
I mean,
so, like,
he's in tremendous shape. He looks just like he did when he was working in WWF in the 80s and 90s. But go ahead.
Man, he gets in there, he throws arm drags, he beats the snot out of people, bro. But no, it's intense, but like it's a family, you know what I mean? Like I'm got like a loss for words here. It's been so long. Oh my god. But jeez, man. But the knowledge that Mario and like Paul Roma have is just it's you can't really get that anywhere else. Like anyone who's trained or wrestled on the independent scene, like those guys wrestled like the Bret Harts and the Undertakers and the Monster and Randy Savages. You know what I mean? Like they've been around, and so yeah, and like they're always available. I know if I called them right now, like they would answer. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's almost like a cheat code having them like in my back pocket like this.
I mean, it very much is. You know, Roma's credentials speak for themselves. Same for Mancini.
Yeah.
So of course, it is a cheat code. So you're back in Connecticut. You know, you're doing your thing, and like, when did you know, like, for sure that like you were destined to do some cool shit out here?
Oh my god!
When did it hit you? Like, oh yeah, this is where I need to be.
It took me a little bit. So like probably not until maybe I made my debut in August of 2022. It took me like a long time to like wrestle in front of a crowd, like a little over 2 years. And so like for the longest time, like I was coming down and I was training, and like I just felt like I wasn't really progressing. And it was a Chris Battle actually who like pulled me to the side, and he was like, "Yo, bro, like, you know what I mean? You gotta step up a little bit, like get your stuff together, bro, because like you can really do this, but like you gotta take it more seriously." And like if it wasn't for Chris Battle, like I don't think I'd be where I am today. So shout out to Chris.
All right.
I find that really rather interesting because I feel like right off the bat when you started coming out and wrestling and stuff like that, you were just, I don't know, man, pretty damn good, and you were getting over like immediately with the crowds, like with the persona that you come out with and stuff like that. And now you added the mascot, so that's pretty interesting. And everybody, that's even getting you more over, and it's more exciting, except for this past weekend when he got the crap kicked out of him.
Hey, can we not fast
spoiler
forward
alert,
to today?
Spoiler alert. Harry wasn't there.
Can we? That's fine.
Yeah.
I got a feed through Instagram. Don't worry. I kind of saw everything that happened. Don't worry about it. You see, you forget that people. Don't worry about it. You forget that there's people I know recording what you're doing, so it's all good. You could throw all your shade you want.
Wow.
It's all great.
Is his name Frogman?
No, it's not Frogman. Anyways, let's rewind.
Okay.
So you're in high school. You're kind of like, all right, I'm gonna become a professional wrestler. All right, who are your influences before we ask anything?
That's always
Okay. So I really enjoyed Rob Van Dam growing up.
Yes.
Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, and like Chris Jericho and like Kurt Angle. Like those were my guys.
Ooh. He starts off high flyer, technical Kurt Angle. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like a god, and it was like a wrestling god, really. I mean,
so safe to say you're looking at maybe Ruthless Aggression era, end of the Attitude era for you, per se.
Yeah. Like Ruthless Aggression, like even like the TNA stuff. Like as a kid, like, like TNA was my jam, bro. Perk Angle, come on.
Angle. Listen, that's okay. That's gonna fly here. Angle was the man.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah.
those flames on those trunks. You knew what he was about, baby.
Facts.
All right. So you're watching guys like Kurt Angle, Jericho, Van Dam, and you start piecing things together. And you're like, all right, I'm gonna go to PAPW. I'm gonna start training. Blah 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 blah. You have to think of a gimmick. What goes through your head? How did the basketball player come out?
So that came like a little after my debut. So like originally, like I thought I was gonna have like this like 2000s like nostalgia type gimmick. Like I thought I'd come out like with the baggy clothes, sell like bootleg
Okay.
DVDs out the trunk of my car. You know, the like hip hop music and the throwback jerseys. Like I thought that was gonna be my stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like that though. I like that though. We should do that with Rick. Rick should be the guy that sells the bootleg DVD. Oh wait, he probably does. Anyways,
Yeah.
None of those DVDs I sell are bootleg.
You sure? Wink, 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 and a nod. All right. So your first thought is, all right, I'm gonna be this baggy 2000s guy, baggy pants, the jersey,
Yeah.
all the nine. What changed? Where was like the moment where you go, oh, this is not gonna work. Let me try this.
Okay. So there's like two answers to that. So first of all, I needed new gear. So at the time I was wearing like some hand-me-downs from like Sunset Steve Garcia. And so I was like, I don't want to get anything like expensive and like too customized because like I don't really know like where I'm going with this just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up getting like these custom like basketball shorts. They're like my half white, half blue one, like my New York
Okay.
Knicks gear.
Yeah.
And so I got my name on it and everything. And so then I remember right before like my fourth or fifth match at PPW, I had to send our music producer like some music. We had a new music producer at the time. And so I was on the way to the gym and I was listening to Spotify. I was listening to some like 2000s music, and all of a sudden Basketball by Little Bow Wow came on. And I was like, hold on, like this kind of slaps. Like I can picture myself like walking out to this, but I was like, I don't know. So like I sent the song to like five of my friends, and I'm like, what do you think about this as a theme song? You know, think like they'd all like kind of like, you know, bury it a little bit, but they all like rocked with it. So I end up using that like for my theme song. And then all of a sudden like fans were like clapping along to it. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I guess I got to like full send this basketball thing now.
Okay. So I've seen your gear. You've had gears, obviously. Now you're debuting new teams, and I saw that. I like the Celtics gear. Very, very
Stop,
clean.
stop,
Very
stop.
clean.
I'm not a Celtics fan.
I know you're not, but it goes.
We'll get to
it
that, but
goes
yeah.
with who
Let's
you
talk
are.
about this. Let's talk about this because
Oh, Celtics suck. We all know.
first off,
Listen,
hold on.
listen. I'm an '80s, early '90s baby, so I'm a Bulls fan.
Oh my God,
So,
you're old.
You're so
I'm
trendy, but
like if I take off my hat, there's like so many grays over here, more grays than his face. It's crazy.
That's wild.
So, anyways, Celtics. Yes, I mean, I've grew up in the '80s, so I was a Celtics fan in the '80s.
Oh, he was a Larry Bird guy.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, I just found actually going through my stuff, found my Celtics shirt that I have. But anyways, if I knew that you were wearing that on Saturday, I would have lined up with that because I was not wearing a uniform. I refused to wear a get up on Saturday.
Yeah.
So no offense to Coliseum Pro Wrestling.
Taking my
Yeah.
head, you don't
Wow.
you don't do your tape study. It's all good.
Well, the
Yeah.
whole thing is I was not going. My thing is I figured, hey, I'm not on camera for crying out loud, with the exception of the time that Kel's got
I'm
the
not
shit
a-
kicked out
Hey,
of him.
listen,
But
I'm not on camera either. I still dress to the nines.
Custom jacket, bro. Yo, come on.
You
look at
already
that
know.
thing. And now he uses that. He's got to point that shit out. It's his profile picture, all this stuff.
Oh,
So,
listen, that's a
Yeah.
great picture that Caesar took. I'm sorry.
And I'm like, I'm in the
apologies.
back. I'm in the background.
All right,
of that
don't
picture,
make me-
like-
I'm not-
in
I'm not
your
gonna-
McDonald's.
I'm not going to insult Caesar, a very fine photographer and human being.
So okay, so let's talking about your gear. It reminds me of something that came out of Stephen Barry's. I don't know if you remember that store. So there was a store way back when, and Rick is smiling, so I know he knows the store. And
I know exactly what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, Stephon Marbury had
Yeah.
a clothing line that came out of that store. So when I see the gear, my first thought was, did he just go shop at like Stephen Barry's and just grab everything with his last name? How did the Marbury name come up? First of all, is that your real name? Like, is that part of who you really are? Or
So
Kayfabe, man. Jesus.
Yeah. Damn, that's a
Okay,
straightforward
babe.
question. Okay, listen.
I have to ask. I need to know about the guy.
He's an investigative reporter. I know his
Bingo.
name. So
Okay, so my government name, I'm not gonna go into it.
No.
But someone who used to wrestle PPW all the time, they took my last name, bro. They took my last name. I couldn't use it. I couldn't use it. I
Okay.
know. I'm not gonna
Okay.
call them out, Kaimon King, but listen, bro.
Oh,
oh, did you hear? Speaking of which, I'm sorry to cut you off. Kylon and Flash were mentioned on the Jim Cornette podcast, not in a positive light either. So
Yeah,
they've
actually,
made it.
I saw that today. Yeah,
they officially made it. Yes. So
Listen, speaking of Kylon King, and I have on record, and I'm pretty sure he will confirm this story. He wants to face you one-on-one. Somebody
Okay.
needs to book. Somebody needs to book that.
somebody. Bro,
I'm just saying. Maybe
this is
in
going
the
to be
near
a
future.
BST jerk off session.
Wow.
Continue with your story.
Wait. Wasn't he just talking about CPW 2 seconds ago?
Wow, he was.
Okay. Just making sure. Anyways, now, so somebody stole your last name. No comment. King. So now you're like, all right, what name do I use? Who told you to come up with this Marbury stuff?
Okay, so I had like a whole like list of names like in my phone, like just for like when I was ready to make my debut. And
As
so I remember
everybody
like,
should.
yep. And I remember it was like a random like Wednesday class. I was with Broma. And so he was watching me work. He was like, yo, like, I think you're ready to wrestle. And I was like, okay, like cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's up. And he was like, yeah, like in 3 weeks I'm going to Indiana, you're coming with me. And I was like, what? I was like, he's like, yeah, and I need a name like in 2 hours. And I'm like, all right. So
Fire. Put him right in the fire.
yeah. And so I went through a few different names, and I was pitching some names to like him, and I think Chris Battle and Vlad. And so eventually, I was like, all right, like I'm gonna go with Jermaine Marbury, and it was Vlad. Vlad's like, no. It has to be Maine Marbury, double M. And I'm like, all right. I was like, all
didn't
right.
you use
know
that for a brief period? Didn't you use that
Yeah.
for like a week, maybe 2 week, 2 shows, maybe? I thought I remember seeing that advertised.
Yeah. I did that for like 4 or 5 matches, and like I just wasn't feeling it. No disrespect to Vlad, like I love him to death, but I was like, yeah, it has to be Jermaine. So that's how that came about.
Okay.
Okay. So when you said you went to Indiana, were you was that, I know Paradise Alley has a relationship with Brian Costello. Is that where you guys were going down there, working for Brian Costello?
It got canceled, so like I didn't even
gotcha.
go, but
okay.
So he was getting ready to go to Indiana, and then they were like, card subject to change. Yeah, and here we are. All right. Yeah. Okay, so who was your debut match with?
So in my heart, I have like 2 different debut matches. So like my first like official professional wrestling match, I was in like a mask. It was like PPW or it was like the Connecticut Taco Festival. It was me. Yeah, so I was in like a luchador like get up. It was me versus Hunter Tarka. That was my first like wrestling match.
Not a bad person to have your debut against.
No, love him to death. Great guy. And then later on in the show, I got to wrestle without the mask, and I was against Brad Baylor. That's the first time people saw the chosen.
They put you. They literally threw you in the fire.
2 of the top guys out of that school, and they're like, "Yep, you're gonna go against the top guy here, and then you're gonna go against the top guy here."
And Baylor's on TV on a weekly basis as well. So I mean, he's like really up there on the, you know. So it's like it had to be somewhat intimidating, no? Tarka's been up there too.
Yeah, but Tarka's been on is your heavyweight champion. Am I not correct?
Absolutely, 100% is.
Yep.
But you know, we're gonna get into a little bit of questioning about the championships and stuff like that very soon. Very soon, I will talk to. Well, I mean, I guess I could do it now. So
by all means.
What do you have any champion? Would you consider yourself going after the Hunter Tarka or whoever for that title?
I think if the opportunity presented itself and the time is right, you know what I'm saying? I'm down to face anyone, whether it's Hunter, Tarka, or like Troy Stevens, Bloodsaw, anyone at PPW. They want it, you don't get it. You know what I mean?
Ooh, he's saying, hey, PAPW, I hope you're listening. Anyone can get it. Anyone can.
Let me backtrack. I forgot. Troy Stevens did lose the title to Ryan Frost. So Ryan Frost, you know what I'm saying? We want something to get some.
That's true. That was just about.
He called out Frosty. He's calling out Frosty on the pod.
Hold on.
Yo,
I'm definitely sending that to him. He's gonna.
Please
You gotta
do.
be. You gotta be
you gotta
careful with
you gotta
Frosty.
clip this. Clip this. Frosty gonna flip out for that.
No, that's my boy. We teamed up at TOS not too long ago. So
Yeah,
recently,
that's
Yeah.
another thing. Let's talk about that. You debuted for TOS and some other places that we'll get to in a little bit. How's that experience been?
So Test of Strength is like one of those promotions like I've been trying to get onto for a long time. And
Yep.
so like I messaged the front office. I was like, hey, like this is who I am. Like here's some of my matches. You know, like I'm available if you guys want to book me. And they're like, all right, cool. That was kind of it. And
Yep.
so it was actually at a BST show. I think it was Mega Class. That was the September 15th one. Right? Yep. After my match against Troy Stevens, like the next day, Patrick Saint had DM'd me. He was like, yo, bro, like I like what you have going on. Like I let like TOS know about you. And I was like, oh, word. And so then like from there, I ended up going to some of like the training sessions. I trained with like Wagner and Bobby Ocean and whatnot. And so
Great people to train with. Great people to train with.
It's actually closer to me than PPW is too, so it's really convenient. It's like really convenient. So I ended up training. Let's not go there, Rick. Come on.
Calm it down, Rick.
Calm it down. Like, you know, NWO type thing. You're just gonna come on in. You're gonna switch teams. Anyway,
he's not switching teams. He's building his craft. He's getting.
No, I get it. I'm joking around. I get it, dude. It's very important to get out there and work different companies and different wrestlers. I mean, you know, it's absolutely 100% very important. It's called a joke. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're not good at them, so
I know.
Yeah. So anyways, so they had a show. I think it was Training Day 43. I wasn't booked at the time, but like because it's so local and I had nothing going on Sunday, I walked in my street clothes. I had a whole like plate full of like eggs and apples I was eating, and it was
always eating. You're always eating, bro.
I'd be hungry, bro. Call me Bobby Buffet. But anyways, it was Daze Simone. She like came running up to me. She's like, "Yo, Marbury," and I'm like, "What's up?" And she's like, "The front office, bro. Like they need you right now." And I'm like, all right. And then I walked into the office and was like, "Yo, like you got your gear?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, Survivor Series 4-on-4 elimination tag match," and that was it. And I was like, "What? Okay, yeah,
all right,
yeah."
Cool. How was that? Okay, so who was in the match, and how did you feel in that match?
So it was me, Ryan Frost, the Hard Work Heroes versus Sigma, Pretty Poppy. Oh my God, what's his name? He was on CPW. Help me out, Rick.
Who was this dude? The one from Kevin Kidd, the one that you teamed with?
No. He wrestled the New Age match. Giorgio.
The specialist. Giorgio something. I forgot it. Damn, I forgot his last name.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and then
Giorgio, I know it's not his real name. It's not his shoot name. So oh God, it's terrible.
Yeah,
burying yourselves.
Yeah, I'm getting fired. Jesus.
And then I think it was Cooper Valentine. And so that was the match right there.
All right. How'd you feel in the match? How'd you do?
I actually enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. Everyone came out wearing the headbands. It was like the only booking that Benny's ever missed. And like there was a lot going on. So
we're gonna get to that in a minute.
But
I have it right here in front of me. Just give me 2 seconds. You guys continue to
All right, so you had this match. Actually, while he's looking for the information, let's touch on Benny, the basketball. How did that come together?
Well, me and Benny have been best friends since like I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Playing ball.
Giorgio Lawrence. So there you go, Giorgio Lawrence. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. So like our whole friendship started off. Benny and I back in middle school. He used to get picked on all the time, like all the time. He was a short kid, built like a basketball. People always bullied him, but I stuck by his side, and here we are.
All right.
All these years later.
All right. It seems like Benny the basketball has also helped you as much as you've helped him. It's kind of been like a 50-50 split, especially with now you've had your debut for Wrestling Open. And I've heard from numerous people that the crowd was super hot for you and Benny the Ball.
So hold on, you're telling me you didn't watch it?
I have. Listen.
You put me on the podcast.
He's supposed to be a promoter and
Pause. Timeout.
Basketball, bro. No timeouts, bro.
Oh no. There's definitely 7. All right, timeout. And I also have a not even 1-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. I can't watch everything every week because I just don't have the time. But I have heard nothing but great things. And if you want, for you, and just for you, not for Rick, just for you, I will go back, I will review it, and I'll text you about it.
If you want, it's all good, man.
he's
It's all
supposed to
good.
be a promoter.
Don't tell me if you want after I put myself out there.
He's supposed to be scouting talent constantly, yada yada.
Do I need to wait? Hold on. Do I need to scout any more of Jermaine Marbury when he's already wrestled for us?
No, he's
and had a spectacular showing. I'm gonna tell you with Troy Stevens. Don't come for me.
All right, I'm about to literally kick you out of this. Jermaine Marbury, and like we said one of the I guess most popular young professional wrestlers here on the Northeast independent scene, making waves. There's a lot of other guys out there that are kind of new to the game as well. You just mentioned one, I believe that you were in a match with in that I got a chance to work with at Tetsu. I think you were also at the last show. But Pretty Poppy, this kid kind of like got over really quick in that match. Like that was insane, like how that crowd reacted to him. I had never seen him, but we had a conversation beforehand about where he trained and who he was and stuff like that. And that dude went freaking crazy. Or the crowd did, excuse me. So what do you think of that kid right there?
He reminds me a little bit of like Brad Baylor, where like he has not only the talent but like the ego as well. You know what I mean? Like he comes out there with the mirror and whatnot. Yo, shots at Brad, bro. That's my boy. But come on. But yeah, me and Pretty Poppy actually worked twice at TOS. He's doing both my tag team matches. My opponent. So definitely someone to keep an eye on. I think he's on the next Tetsu show, January 6th as well. Both me and him.
He is.
Separate matches. But
yeah.
Hey, maybe as you're going to the back, he's coming out a little. I see you and start a little rivalry there.
You never know.
Never know. You guys have already fought twice. Let's keep it moving.
That is January 6th at the Bristol Boys and Girls Club. That's Tetsu. So
I will be there. I will be there.
Okay. So I want everybody to go,
Mr. Marbury.
I want everybody to go online and get tickets and make sure that they're there because the last show
sell out.
Straight,
oh my god,
fire, dude! That was amazing. I invited a friend, bought his ticket. He came down. He's kind of newer to the area, I guess, or returned to Connecticut. Doesn't know a lot about a lot of the local wrestling stuff, so he's been coming to a lot of the Coliseum shows. It was his first Tetsu show, and he could not stop talking about how amazing that show was, top to bottom.
Literally. Oh yeah, listen, I can tell you from coming in, I came to see Rick do his thing. See a couple of the boys do their thing, and that show was phenomenal. I had a great time. Yeah. Everybody showed out again, as Rick pointed out. Pretty Poppy had a massive reaction.
Yeah,
from being the hometown boy. Troy Stevens winning the title that night, and you fought Troy Stevens for the you fought Troy Stevens at BST not too long ago. Do you see that being a run back, probably for the tattoo title in the future?
I think so. One day. I think so.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Okay. You've had a couple people have little influences in your career that I know of just from conversations. Is there anybody who you haven't faced that had an influence in your career that you want to face?
Oh, without a doubt, Chris Battle.
Okay.
I don't know how like me and him haven't like crossed paths yet, but like that's like when it comes to people like I train with all the time. I see like on a weekly basis that like I haven't got a chance to like wrestle. Like ask me Chris Battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been around a long time, and his experience level is out of this world. I mean, this is a guy that's been in there with guys like Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that match. You can go on YouTube and find it, and you want to talk about that match is amazing, literally, and it's like pure wrestling beginning to end, literally.
Yeah.
Let's not take anything away from Chris Battle. He's one of the only men in a BST ring to pin Lucas Chase.
Wow.
So let's talk about that. Listen, there's been maybe 2, maybe 3 men in BST's history who has pinned Lucas Chase clean. Chris Battle's one of them. That's no slouch. As far as at open, who do you see yourself being in the ring with in the future? Do you have anybody up there that you kind of want to, do a couple grapples with?
Oh my God, let's see. One of the first names that come to mind is definitely Ichiban. I think that would be a real fun one. Oh yeah, him, Steven Stetson, I think would be a good one too.
Oh, okay.
That dude's
Yeah,
The
that dude's
Jersey
amazing.
Cowboy.
Yep.
yep. Brad Hollister, Raymond Big, bro. Like I want the best of the best.
Bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon's another one. Bacon's been in the ring with pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Current Wrestling Open champion. None of those names are slouches, man. You're gonna
Yeah.
have your work coming out if you get in the ring with either one of those men. What do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in about a year? Like you've had this trajectory uprise. You got the rocket strapped to your back. You're hitting the moon. Where do you see yourself in about a year?
In a year's time, I just want to travel like as much as possible. Like make my debut from like more promotions. Wrestle every weekend if possible. Wrestle
Yeah.
some names.
Okay. And names like?
Oh, put me on the spot.
Yeah, you said it.
That's what we do.
That's what we
That's
do.
what we need. That information. We need everybody out there listening to have that information. Who do you want to wrestle? What's a dream match? Like seriously, the crop of independent talent just in New England is out of this world, and I mean, we can go all over, the entire country. So there's just throw out some names there.
Ray Phoenix is probably like the top of the list right now. Ray Phoenix.
Okay.
Matt Cardona would be cool.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be a random one, but Cheeseburger.
All right,
that's not random at all.
There you go. You got to pop on there. There you go.
That is not random at all. And you know what's good about Cheeseburger? That you and Cheeseburger have very similar kind of like starting points. Like you guys started at your gyms, and you guys had your gimmick, and then from your gimmick decided to just have a rocket strap to your back, and to the moon. Both of y'all are going. Well, you're now, and he's been. He took his gimmick and went to Japan with it, and ended up being taught by the greatest junior heavyweight possibly of all time,
Liger, bro.
Liger. So who knows? That could essentially happen to you.
Yeah.
So I definitely could see that in the future. Definitely go to LVAC in Philadelphia and have a couple bangers out there. Is there any places that you want to go to, like that you have your eye on, like as far as promotions?
House of Glory, probably top of the list right now.
Yep, I was just there over the weekend. Had a crazy show.
Defy Wrestling is like a company I was watching all the time in high school.
Putting out bangers like constantly, banger events, dude. And the lineups that they bring in there, the Midnight Heat, the tag team that goes in there. They've had, Damian Sis in there not so long ago. Dude, that place is just killer, man. Defy is awesome.
Fire.
Yeah.
And then I'd want to go back to Metroplex Wrestling too, MPX. You know what I mean? Like kind of like a full circle moment would be cool as well.
That would be dope, actually.
Right.
Yeah,
I like that. I like the way you think. You're very intelligent, and I can tell that just from conversing with you, even in person over this. It looks like you have everything set up here, and that's the best part. Like you. I'm trying to figure out how to exactly word this. You're one of those guys where just from conversation, you have your head on straight. You know exactly what you want and how you want it. And that's great because a lot of people, we've asked them questions and they couldn't even give us answers. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're able to go, okay, I want to go here. I want to wrestle here with this person, it shows that you've already thought about these things ahead of time. And that's very key for a wrestler very young in their career, like yourself. Rick, you got anything?
I did. Then I forgot what it was. Jesus.
Jesus.
What about? I know. Well, you talk too much. You talk too much.
To his podcast, doesn't have questions. This is why I've taken over.
This is no. It's just he talks so much. I end up forgetting. What about famous buildings, legendary buildings, wrestling buildings? That's like something that I'm kind of like a big fan of. Is there any legendary buildings that you'd like to hit up?
There's only like two like venues I really really like or dying to work at. One is the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York.
Yes.
Okay, all right, not impossible.
Love that building. That
Yeah,
building's
beautiful
atmosphere is
building. Yeah,
crazy.
And if you're dreaming big, bro, come on, MSG, Madison Square
of
Garden.
course, that's right. There you go.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wrestle at MSG and you don't wear Knicks gear, I'm telling you now, there's gonna be a fist, and I'm gonna right in your
Yeah.
mouth right here. You
Would
make sure
would
you debut that there.
would this be something that you're doing to look for as a career, professional wrestling as a whole? I know you said that you were talking about, your point, presentation in school and stuff like that. This is not just something that's supposed to be a hobby for you. You like really
No,
want to do that as a career. I mean, with the way you're getting over, I could see it definitely happening.
Yeah, it's definitely something I want to like pursue for sure. Like it takes a lot of my time. Like I'm
Mhm.
like never home because either like I'm training at PPW or I'm going to TOS, and then on the weekends, like my only time off from like work and whatnot, it's like I'm at a wrestling show trying to
Yeah.
network or do whatever I
Yeah.
can to get on or meet new people. Like you know what I mean? So I'm
I
definitely
mean,
taking this as serious as possible.
if I don't see you working at a show, you're there and you're helping with the ring crew. And I mean,
absolutely.
that just shows. And what I see is like, A, you're a good kid, and
Yep.
B, it's something that you really want to be a part of. If you're showing up and you're not necessarily even working and you're just there to break down the ring and put it up.
I've asked
I mean,
Jermaine to help with ring crew a few times, to touch on your point, Rick, and I don't think he's ever told me no. And he's always one of the first ones there and one of the last ones to go. So if anybody ever needed a reference from me, I will 100% give it for him. He's been a
Yeah.
phenomenal asset to our team.
Well, let's not get it twisted though, Jermaine. I don't mind. I don't mind helping out, but I'm also a wrestler too. So
Oh no, absolutely.
yeah,
And we've already talked. We've already talked about the
yeah,
upcoming show. We know listen, I
yeah.
got you. I got you. I've always taken care of you, and you know this.
No, facts. That's true. That's true.
I've always taken care of you. And I will, I look forward to working with you. This next year is going to be very, very big for us specifically. And I
Yep.
know you're going to be a key part of that. So look forward to that. Actually, kayfabe here. We're gonna talk business this week as far as like the next year goes, and we've already started etching in some names, and you're definitely on that list. So
Hell yeah.
I'm very
Thank you.
excited. I'm very excited.
You know who's not on the list?
Rick Del
Anyways,
Santo.
exactly. What part of Connecticut do you live in, Jermaine?
Hartford County, so like towards Hartford, like near
Oh, so
Springfield.
you're really right there for the TOS.
You're
school.
really out
Yeah.
there. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
wait. Pause. You drive from Hartford to New Haven or East Haven.
That's at
every
least a
week?
half a tank of gas, like literally
Yeah.
every each trip. Yeah.
And we're
Monday-
over here asking if this is gonna be a hobby. Jesus Christ, if he hasn't proven
No.
that he's gonna do
Never
this.
mind. I take that question back. I
Yeah,
take
please,
that back.
let's
So,
rewind
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So we've asked how he got into this. We've asked, where the gimmick, where all that stuff comes from. What do you have in store next for you, sir?
Actually, so when you're talking about like upcoming dates, this Thursday, December 7th, we're going back up to Open Meet Danny Miles.
Oh,
So, yeah,
oh,
I'm excited for this one.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Okay.
You know what? I will be 100% watching on Thursday.
Thursday. I get
Sorry.
home. When's that start? Are you on the pre-show or the main card?
Exactly sure. I know to the best of my knowledge, I think Steven Stetson's gonna be like in the corner. So I imagine it's the main show, right? Because Steven Stetson usually
Okay,
yeah.
prominent role. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be home right after the show starts from work. So
It's okay.
I'll,
They put it on IWTV within hours, so you can catch it on the
yeah, but guess what? I'm old AF, so I don't stay up late. Anyways,
That's a lie. That's a lie.
except
Listen.
weekends, not all the time.
Listen, the test has determined that is a lie. Also,
all right,
all right,
Jermaine,
Jermaine,
go ahead.
I'm gonna need you to shift your body a little to the left.
Your left or my left?
My left.
This way? No, this way.
Yep. No.
No,
You were
this
right
way?
the first time. Yep.
This way.
Yep.
Okay.
I see something right by your elbow. It looks like a picture of you.
Nah, bro, don't put me on the spot, bro.
Oh, yo, no. we have to put you on the spot. This is what we do. I'm gonna need you to put that up here real quick, and I'm gonna need you to show that off because I caught it in the beginning, and I was like, I'm gonna have to pull that out. Let's go. Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
all right, all right.
Come on. Have a little fun. Look at this. Look at this young whippersnapper in this picture. Look at this.
All right.
Look at look at this. Yo.
Look at that. All right, there you go.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
here
he's covering his name too. Look
hear
at
me
that.
out. Hear me out.
Covering
Hear me
his
out.
shoot
Hear me
name.
out. If you go heel with this gimmick, I'm gonna need that to show up. No facial hair, no braids, just straight flat top and straight. Oh, what'd you do? What'd you do?
A lot of stuff. Hold on. Go ahead. Continue.
I think he just messed up his room. But yeah, if you go heel with this gimmick, black jersey and that look, I'm gonna need you to pull that out. I'm gonna need you to pull that out.
I don't know, man. Listen, Benny and I, we have morals, bro. We have morals.
Morals?
We have morals, bro.
Did you see that picture, Rick? Is Rick frozen? I think Rick is frozen.
Is he?
It's his podcast and he gets frozen.
Wow. Come on, man.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. All right, so you got Danny Miles, and he's gone. I am now the host. Now you hear it. It says around top. I am now. Now we can really talk.
Yep.
All right, now let's bury Rick Del Santo. He's awful. He is god awful.
The worst, bro. Can't even dress up for his shows.
Come on, man. Like, how do you deal with him? The unprofessionalism. 6 months he left you off. Why didn't you come talk to me?
I didn't know you guys were tight like that until recently. So.
Bro, next time you don't go to him. Just come to me, man. I'm the star of the show. We all know this. I'm the most charismatic host of all time. Now, seriously speaking, PAPW is your home, I would assume, correct? What are your goals there now that you've been there for 2 years now? 2 years?
Oh, yeah, almost 3. Yeah, almost
3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your main goal there?
Probably to win the world title. I think that's the ultimate goal of PPW. Just to show them that I'm able to carry the brand and represent what they have going on.
Absolutely. If you were to set up a dream scenario for PAPW, okay, titles on the line, who are you facing and what is the match that you're having?
I think, no disrespect to Hunter Tarka.
Yeah.
I think it'd be me versus Baylor.
Ooh,
me versus Baylor.
Yeah.
And
I don't think Hunter would be disrespected by that. Hunter would understand, I'm sure. Hunter's a great champion.
No, facts.
But you and Baylor would be money. Would be money.
And the first time the fans really, really got to say Jermaine Marbury was against Baylor. You know what I mean? And I feel he always was the best out of me as well.
So it would almost be a full circle moment.
Yeah.
For you.
And I feel just to make it a little crazy, we can make it work, bro. Like a dog collar match or something like that. Like a steel cage would be crazy. Something crazy.
Are you big on having a gimmick tell the story? Like the gimmick match kind of ends the feud?
Yeah.
Okay. So it dog collar match for you and Baylor?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look who's back.
Wow.
So, sorry guys, I had some technical difficulties.
We noticed.
My whole entire thing dropped. It would not be my podcast if it did not have technical difficulties. But
Jermaine, do you see what I deal with now?
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how I do it either.
Yo, you're giving me a hard time too. What the hell, man? I'm always very nice to you. So
when you're not big leaguing me, you're pretty respectful.
This whole big league thing, I don't even remember that happening.
That's the worst part.
Now I remember. Now I remember.
Okay.
Hold up a second. If I remember correctly, I said in some time I'd like to have you on. I think you were only a few matches in.
6 months. Sometime.
I remember you telling me you're like, oh, I have all my videos recorded up until the summertime, bro.
That is true.
September.
That is 100% true.
Okay,
but that is 100% true. Yes,
I can vouch. I can vouch. for Rick Del Santo in stating that, yes, he had many ammunition in the chamber already.
Yes, I had
But
hold on. I had this today is the final episode that actually uploaded from that gigantic mass session I was doing every day. I had months in advance booked and months in advance uploaded in the chamber, basically.
you see,
Go.
do you see this, Rick? You see this? This is the
I'm
violin,
not.
the smallest violin right now.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not. There's no violin here.
Listen,
I'm just saying. I'm working pretty damn hard to get shit done around here. So Harry just shows up on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. That's it.
you're right. I show up. I
Wow.
hold on. I show up when I'm told to show up. I don't understand.
Actually, that's a lie. I'm
And you're
lying.
on time.
I'm
And
lying.
you're on time, Harry.
I'm gonna remember this the next CPW show. I'll tell you that much. But the next thing, it won't be the next. Hustle and Muscle won't be the next ones to take out Benny the Ball. I will be. So
Basketball, but
that's
okay.
that's a threat, and we have it
Yeah.
recorded. And I'm gonna call the cops on
Yep.
you, Rick.
oh wow.
Mhm.
No, in seriousness, Harry has contributed quite a bit to the show. I will. He had some stellar guests, I will say. So let me
I
pat him
am
on the back for
the
that.
most charismatic host of all time. Just want to put that out there.
All right, we got a few more minutes
Yes,
left of
I was
the
just
broadcast.
I
so.
was just going to get there. Now,
Ooh.
you 3 matches that you would like us to showcase that showcases you.
For people to watch at home,
Yeah.
watch any of my 3 matches. Top of the list. It's gonna go on YouTube this week. Me versus High Voltage Omar from
Nice.
Tetsu.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You can hear my glorious voice as well on that on that
Yay.
match. So I'm just letting you know.
Yay.
Yeah. Then I would say me versus Griffin McCoy over at Wrestling Open.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not on that one though.
No.
Anyways,
Thank God.
And then for that last one, I would say probably, I guess maybe me and Chris Mooch at PPW. It's on my YouTube at
Okay.
Jermaine Marbury. Yep.
So this is what I want you to do. When we're done with this, I want you to send those 3 links over to Mr. Del Santo, because what we're going to do is we're going to put those at the end of this pod so that people can watch it right after this conversation.
Okay.
Sounds
When is this
good?
going up, by the way?
Rick,
Yeah.
let them know.
the day after tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow. Yeah, because
Maybe
the Tetsu match isn't going up until like later this week. But,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
No worries.
So this will be live on television this coming Sunday, 3:30. Jermaine, why don't you give out your socials? Tell people where they
Can they find you?
Yeah.
You can find me where I'm most active on Instagram at Jermaine Marbury 4.3. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Jermaine Marbury. Same with ProWrestlingTees.com at Jermaine Marbury and TikTok at Jermaine Marbury 3.
Buy the merch, everybody.
Buy the
Yeah.
merch. Book this man. I promise you, you're going to get every ounce of your money earned. He is one of the new showmen of the Connecticut scene. Great professional wrestler, Jermaine Marbury. Jermaine, it was a pleasure to have this conversation with you as always. I look forward to seeing you next so that we can talk a little more about the upcoming year. I'm very, very excited to see what you do from here. I will have my eye very closely on your career, young man. Go kill it wherever you
Thank
go.
you.
You understand me?
Thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you.
I won't wait 6 months for the next appearance. Okay. All right.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Like I said, Jermaine, call me. I got you.
All right, for sure.
All right,
sure.
brother.